La 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 lu 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 lu. It's working, baby. All right, guys. Happy Monday. Good to see you. Stay with me. And today we're going to talk about some negotiation tactics that work.
You better get fired up.
Man, every time I hear that, I get fired up. I love that, man. You know, I don't know if I shared this before, but I made that. You better get fired up in that little intro video. I made that in a closet in Washington State, right? The guy who did all my sound and prepared that little video clip, he told me, I want you to go in your closet because the clothes soak up the sound, and just say it into, I don't remember if I said it into my phone or what I said it into, but every time I hear that, I think about me in a dark closet in Washington, and my wife's like, what is this cat doing, man? So anyway, today I want to talk about 3 negotiation tactics that work. I believe 2 are for sellers, one's for a buyer. Things that I have seen pretty consistently work, and we'll talk a little bit in depth about each, right? So the first thing is, when you are a seller, and I want you to think about the other side while we're talking about this too, right? Things you can mitigate on the other side. When you're in multiple offers, there are times to let the other people know that you're in multiple offers. There are times that you don't want to let the other side know that you're in multiple offers. As an agent, I can only do what my client allows me to do. In this case, the client would be the seller. But I'm going to tell them, hey, this is where I would share that we're in multiple offers, or hey, I might not share that we're in multiple offers yet. There's reasons to do it, reasons not to do it. However, in every case that you're in, that's not true. In most cases, when you're in multiple offers, it pays to drag your feet. So we will purposely come up with things that we can do to slow the process down, right? Maybe it takes us a little bit longer to get back signatures or initials, or maybe we purposely don't get a page signed and I say, oh, I forgot that. Let me get that signed. I'll send it over in a couple hours, or I'll send it over in the morning. Those are not accidents. We do that because we have other offers that we're also negotiating with, and we're constantly trying to get them better, 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 better. We want to improve them. Okay. And so I create a strategy with my seller. And a lot of times, if there's multiple offers, that means we're going to drag our feet in any way that we can. We want to get more offers, more opportunity to come up higher and get us better terms. All right. Now, as a buyer, you want to think about that. When you've got, I get this all the time. Hey, you know, my clients are kind of slow. They'll get back to you in the next 2 or 3 days. Wrong. We're going to go shopping. Our offer's good until tomorrow at midnight. And if we're still interested, the fact that they're still interested, but we're not going to sit here and wait. Now, what we truly do is up to my buyer, right? Maybe we are shopping for other homes, and sellers, you got to realize that. But maybe we're not. Maybe this is the home. We want the home, but we're still going to tell them, hey, we're going to go shopping. We're not going to give you 2-3 days. If you come back to us in 2-3 days and we haven't bought one already, then hey, we'll consider it. But we need to move forward on something. You need to say that. If you don't say that to me and most really good agents, all they're doing is shopping your offer to see if they can get another offer a little bit better. And then they're going to get another offer a little bit better, and they're going to come back to you and say, hey, we got a counter a little bit higher. And it's because you waited. You do not want to wait. You want to move this quickly. Now, there are just general limitations. I mean, people can only move so fast, right? Some people have to work. Some people are out of country. Some people are on vacation. Whatever the situation is, it happens. But you've got to take that into consideration. Another great tactic you can do as a buyer to help with that is talk to that agent before you even tell them you're putting an offer in, and say, hey, how communicative are these sellers? They get back pretty quickly or no? The odds that a listing agent's going to say yes to that question before they know you have an offer is pretty high. But once you get the offer, it's pretty low, or at least it's lower. Okay. So drag your feet as a seller. As a buyer, demand that it happens quickly. Okay. All right. Next thing. I got to read through this here. This is a good one. I actually just did this today. Always, when you're being asked as a seller for an extension, hey, Joe, we just can't get it closed on the 1st. We're going to need until the 5th or the 10th or whatever it is, right? I'm always going to get the lender on the phone, and I'm going to say, hey, lender, if we grant you this extension, how confident are you that this is going to close? They're thinking that the list agent's thinking, oh, man, should we sign this extension or should we not sign this extension? I want to make sure they're confident. If they're not confident, let's not sign it. Let's just cancel, find another buyer. That's what the lender's thinking you're asking, or you're thinking when you ask that question. So the lender 9 times out of 10 is going to say, 100% we're going to close. I'm totally confident we're going to close. Cha-ching. Because my next thing is going to be great. Right now they have a $10,000 escrow deposit. We're going to make that non-refundable for any reason. And now, assuming they close, which you said 100% they will, it really doesn't impact the buyers at all. The only way it impacts them is if it doesn't close. So I'm glad you're that confident. I'm going to call the agent right now and we'll get that written out. All right. Now you've got some non-refundable. I'll tell you, there are many situations. I've got one right now where the buyer, very motivated, great buyer, didn't have the greatest lender. All right. This lender did not have a lot of experience. They had done 2 deals in the last year and they didn't know how to get it closed. Okay. Because we had non-refundable deposit and we'd already extended it once, they were pushing hard to get it done. I said, if we're going to extend this again, you're going to get rid of your lender. You're going to start working with my lender, who I know can close it. And then we'll grant you the extension. Oh, by the way, we're going to up the non-refundable deposit. And I'll allow her to tell you, hey, it's going to close before we do that, but you're going to up the deposit. We got it all done. Now we've got $5,000 in non-refundable deposit. We up the price by $5,000 to make up for that, so we can cover some of the costs that the seller has had to take on due to these extensions. And I got him with a lender now who's communicating with me and telling me truly what's going on behind the scenes. I feel way more confident. And I know the odds of this closing now are probably 97, 98%. That would have never happened, or at least the odds of it happening would have come down significantly if I didn't have that leverage of that non-refundable deposit. I don't know that I could have forced him to go to our lender. I know that agent had their own lender that they wanted to move it to. I didn't want that. You already had a shot at a lender. I want to move to my lender. But it's really challenging to do that if I don't have any non-refundable deposit. I don't have as much leverage. Here I have leverage. So that's another one. What's this third one? Yeah, that's a good one. As a buyer, anytime you're coming in low on price, or you are asking for a credit after inspection, or you want something fixed, or whatever it may be, anytime the money is going to be less for the seller, okay, you want to justify it. And I like to justify it in writing. It doesn't have to be in writing, but if you justify it in writing, now an agent can just hit copy paste. And a lot of agents, that's exactly what they're going to do. Justify it so that that agent can tell that seller, hey, the reason they're coming in low is because these 4 comps support that price and they can't find a comp to support this price. So wink, wink, either we got to find some comps that support that price, and you and I both know that comp doesn't exist. We talked about that when we listed it, right? I said, hey, it's worth 400. You said, let's list it at 420. I said, there are no comps at 420. You said, let's try it anyway. These guys are calling us out. They know there's no comps at 420. The odds of you getting that seller to come down to 400 now greatly increase. Same with wanting money at an inspection. Justify it. Hey, we had 27 issues pop up on the inspection. We're really only worried about these 4. 3 are safety concerns. That's the only reason we're bringing them up. And 1 is really expensive, right? This roof leak. All of these issues combined are going to cost about $3,800. We're asking for $3,800 in a credit. Here are the invoices that we got, or the estimates we got from some different companies to get these 4 different things done. Now the odds of that seller saying yes go up dramatically. And guess what? If they want to go out and shop and find you new estimates that are lower, awesome. They're doing work for you that might get your costs down. That's beautiful. That's not hurtful. So that's another thing. I see people coming in all the time. They want a low price, or they want a credit, or they want whatever. And when it's not justified, it's really challenging, not impossible, much more challenging to get that seller on board. If you really want to win, and if you're really competitive and you just want to position yourself best, and this is for realtors too, not just buyers, you've got to justify why you're doing what you're doing. If you can't emotionally, and that's the biggest thing in real estate, man, that is my biggest job, is managing emotions. The real estate's the easy part. Emotionally, you've got to give them justification so they can feel good about what they're doing. So, guys, there are 3 great tactics you can utilize in real estate. If you've got a great agent, they've been doing this for 10, 15, 20 years, they've got a lot of sales under the belt, they're going to have a lot of these tactics. They're going to know why they do certain things, when to do them, how to do them, what tone to use when you're saying them. They're going to know what to put in writing, what to say verbally. They're going to know all of this. So make sure you get a phenomenal realtor. You know their experience. You know how long they've been doing it, and you're going to position yourself great. Guys, thanks for joining me. We're here every single Monday on What's Hot. We're here at 11 o'clock. I'd love it if you join me every single week. We'll be here again next week. If you've got something in the hot in the market that you'd like me to discuss in a future video, feel free to put it in the comments or DM me privately. Guys, have a great Monday. Take care.